morning. This is Sangeetha Gummadi here with the Stearns County Natural Resources Conservation Service with your weekly conservation report. As we're full into this harvest season, we're in full swing and everybody is out. Let's take a second to remember back in this spring when we got that 4.6-inch rainfall on Memorial Day in an hour. I think we all remember feeling that. And now with harvest season, as the farmers are out there uncovering that soil damage from the heavy June downpours that have been hidden by the crop canopy, let's talk about those bumps that you might feel as you cross the field. Sometimes you'll see the rill and sheet erosion that is happening, or maybe it's a gully and you feel your equipment suddenly drop. Now we've got something that we can talk about. I had a conversation with a guy who farms a couple days ago. He had never worked with our conservation office staff before, and he told me that he keeps farming the same way that his father had farmed, and now that his son is back home to farm with him, he was just looking to see what he could do better. We're working with producers to put in structures like basins and grassed waterways to protect the soil from eroding away next spring. These grassed waterways are typically 30 to 50 feet wide and are designed to be crossed by farm equipment. There can be a tile, which also helps keep that waterway dry. This is a well-known practice for repairing those small gullies that we see. The best plan for these waterways is to plant the field to fall wheat, allowing time for the grass seed to get established, and then construct after that wheat harvest. Our technicians, if you're going to work with our staff to do the design work, our technicians will need time to come out there and investigate, to survey and design that waterway. So don't wait to sign up. Come on in now and visit with our staff and see what your options are. If you're a livestock producer, if you need more storage for your manure, like a stacking slab or, say, a manure pit, or maybe you're looking for alternatives for handling your dead animals, we can talk about options for an animal mortality facility. Basically, a concrete bin with a roof to throw in your dead animals and compost that with your manure to break down. The biggest thing here is that it does not hurt to ask or to know what your options are available out there. With all those trips across the fields, let's talk about compaction during this harvest season. Extension educator Jody DeYoung-Hughes of the University of Minnesota just put out an article recently on compaction. She mentions ways to minimize the extent of any of the compaction issues that our equipment might make. The first is to reduce axle loads. Why is this important? The heavier the load, the deeper the depth of our compaction. Loads that are greater than 10 tons per acre can compact the soil past the tillage layer, so the depth to which your tillage equipment goes down. We're looking at full combines, slurry tanks, and grain carts that weigh between 20 to 40 tons per axle. Whether equipped with tracks or tires, we're still compacting down to 2 to 3 feet deep. While it might be inconvenient, unloading the combine on the headlands or unloading more frequently can minimize that compaction depth. Another key is to check your tire pressure often. Not only does that help reduce soil compaction, it also improves your tractor efficiency. Studies have shown that given the same axle load, inflation of the tires, your PSI, will determine the depth and severity of the compaction. It could be good to check with your tire manufacturer or maybe their website for proper tire size and inflation rate for the carrying capacity of your equipment. Lastly, Jody talks about being mindful of the number of trips you make across your field. Control your traffic. The theory behind controlled traffic is that 80% of the compaction that happens is on your first pass. So use this to your advantage. While it may take a while to replace equipment that will use the same wheel tracks, in an ideal world, we would have them pass the same tracks. We know that there's one piece of equipment that should receive special attention: the grain cart. The grain cart has the highest potential to compact the soil due to the large carrying capacity on the single axle. What you're looking at is a loaded grain cart at 1,200 bushels, equaling 38 tons on the axle. Pretty heavy cart. Have that grain cart follow the old combine tracks and follow them out onto the headlands, which are usually typically compacted already. That is your best practice. Once that crop comes off this fall, it is the perfect opportunity to visit with your conservation staff to address those issues that you may have seen from these spring heavy rains. We saw signs of erosion everywhere, from gullies throughout most every field to washouts carrying that high-quality topsoil. After the crop is off, before you do any fall tillage, now is the time to talk to a conservation technician about where the erosion is happening and see what your options are for repairing it, what kind of financial options are available as well. This month, in October, we started our first sign-up for the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, otherwise known as EQIP, and already we've had a lot of traffic of people coming in, and the biggest thing is it does not hurt to ask and to talk through what the options are. Come on in now, schedule a time to meet, and come on out and show us the erosion issues that are happening. We're more than happy to talk through what we have to offer. Well, that concludes my update this morning for your conservation report. I do want to say congratulations to any of the FFA members from this area that will be heading down to the National FFA Convention in Louisville, Kentucky, the last week of October, and also to wish you a very safe harvest season. This has been Sangeetha Gummadi with the Stearns County Natural Resources Conservation Service. Have a great day.